My father was born many years ago in Perry Sound.
What I remember most about it is my father had a bridge table, although I remember him for a lot of things. The bridge table was a few of the actual bridge plays that he created on his own.
All right, what I know about my grandfather, Grandpa McQuire.
The first thing I think about when I think about my father,
he was a man of distinct character, strong personality.
The only thing I know about my grandfather is the fact that he passed away around the same year that I was born.
I remember that. I don't remember seeing him, but I remember hearing about him.
And one of them, which I always thought was the cleverest, was the sneeze finesse.
And he smoked a lot.
And the story I remember the most is that on his deathbed, my grandmother tried to send in a priest, and he said, "I didn't need him during my lifetime, and I don't need him now."
really how much fun he was when we were growing up. He used to take us to a place called Lake Ronkonkoma, and we all learned how to swim on Lake Ronkonkoma.
And he was bald.
Where he would hide the card that everybody wanted to know where it was in his hand, and then he would sneeze, leaning way forward, flashing the hand to anybody who wanted to look at it, and naturally they would not see the card that was the key to the winning or losing of the hand.
He sold cigarettes in China.
And I remember twice hearing that he always said that he liked people with original thoughts.
And my father knew how to embarrass us all. He would take a megaphone and go up to where there was kind of a meeting house, and he'd stand on the steps and he'd sing through the megaphone loudly things like, "Many brave hearts lie asleep in the deep, so beware, beware." And all the kids would be petrified. We would be embarrassed.
He moved to Toronto, and he lived in the same town that I grew up, Forest Hills, New York. He was in Forest Hills, Toronto.
He also took my brother and I out to water the plants at 4 a.m. in the morning when we had the water shortage in the New York in the 70s.
And I believe that I had that thought myself, that I really like to have original thoughts, before I ever heard that story about him. So I always thought it was intriguing that we both had that opinion.
That was called his sneeze finesse trick. There was numbers of them.
And he'd love it, and he'd just embarrass us like that.
And those kind of, a man of principle is what I remember him as.
He died at the age of 72. The original name was McQuire from Scotland.
I think that we were from the McQuire clan, and I think Harry really has the answer to this one down pretty pat.
Actually, to the best of my knowledge, McQuire was an acquired name from the McQuire clan, which was from an island in the Irish Sea between Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland, called Olna.
Hey, the McQuire name, I think it came from some island off of Scotland or something.
I have not researched the name McQuire. All I know is it's not McGuire, and then it's Scottish versus Irish. And
I believe that the McQuires are Scottish and Canadian.
The McQuire name comes from the descendancy of Canada.
If you got a minute, I'll tell you the story of Olna, which is when the two great English authors, Johnson and Boswell, took a trip up through the Hebrides and wrote a book about their travels. They both stopped at that island, and that was about 1730, I believe. It might have been in the late 1720s. But it was in that area, and when they stopped on the island, it was an island about 20 by 5 miles, and they talked to the inhabitants, and there was about 20 McQuire or McQuires left there at the